to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm AJ Dean, your host, and I have the amazing and incredible and funny and brilliant co-host Paul Vato right next to me. Hi, Paul. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. You are such a great judge of character. You did forget to say humble, though. But other than that, wonderful introduction.
And humble. And you know what, Paul? We have and Leo Severino is in the building. It's amazing. He's already participating. I love it. I love it. So happy he is here. Leo Severino is here, Paul, with us. He's an actor, director, producer. He just filmed a incredible feature film in Los Angeles in 5 days. We have him here. Hello, Leo. How are you? It's such a pleasure to have you in the house.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be in here. Also an honor being here. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Shout out to you, AJ, for starting this. Paul for helping out and being an amazing co-host. We had a little discussion. We were supposed to be in Mars, but unfortunately we need to get gas. We'll next show.
Next show, that's right, absolutely.
It's too expensive. The gas fees are too expensive, both on Earth and in the metaverse. The gas fees are killing us.
I get it.
It's all going up. And speaking of going up, Leo, that's a great segue to talk about you. You're going up, 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 up. And so we want to talk about this incredible, amazing feature that you completed in 5 days in Los Angeles. Can you tell us about it, how the concept came up, how you started it, all of that good stuff? Take it away.
Yeah, so it was crazy because, we did do a feature film. It was supposed to be done in 5 days, but we actually did it in 4 days. I don't know how, but God was good. God helped me, helped us, the crew, the cast was there helping, all hands on deck. And we all believed in it. And it all started with Clubhouse, actually, a room that just started. My wife is Arcos, Catherine Arcos, runs Arcos Management, and she went by Coastal. She has talents in California, here in the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Florida, and everywhere around the United States. And she wanted to go and meet her talents in person in California. And so she told me, hey, I would love to go to California to meet my talents there, just so I can get to know them in person and all that good stuff. And I was like, you know what? Find some tickets. If God makes it be, then I'll go. We out. She found some good, affordable tickets. And she tells me that the next day, hey, I found some tickets. We're leaving from this date to this date. And I said, fine, let's go. But in Clubhouse and everywhere that I actually go, I like speaking as far as letting your action speak versus your words, right? Speaking about it. I'd rather see it action. And I'm a real, how can I tell you? I'm a real spiritual person. I believe in God. I know that that's not for everybody, but I do. And I feel like God was like, listen, if you want to speak by your action, let your action speak, then when you go to Cali, do something while your wife is also meeting her talents. And I was like, you know what? You're right. So I started a room and I put, making a film in LA, making a short film in LA, who is down? And it just picked up so much hype and a lot of people joined within 20 minutes. We had a lot of heavy hitters in the room and so many people willing to help, and they bought their own tickets and they flew out there as well with me. And in that same room, one of the heavy hitters actually told me, hey, I'm gonna challenge you to do a feature film versus a short film. Challenge accepted, and everybody was really hyped about it, excited. They wanted to do, what they are, what they came to the world to do, and is be an actor, director, producer, whatever they can do, writers, and man, the day came and we hit it in the nail. We did it in 4 days. Everybody was there working 12 hours. We stayed in the Airbnb and we shot in the Airbnb, all one location. We're working on it now. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that flew out there with me. And I met a new family, a new tribe. It was amazing. It was an experience I'll never forget in my life.
I love it. Congratulations. And I'm a part of that. I was a little part of that as support. And I'm so proud of you. Isn't it incredible, Paul?
Well, it sure is, because, and I'm sure AJ and Leo, that there's a lot of talk not just on Clubhouse, but everywhere. And you know, so Leo, to see you do that and make it happen. And I feel like that's been a recurring theme here on our show, AJ. You know, having Patricia, Chica, and then now Leo. You know, these shows that developed, somewhat developed on, you know, well, yours developed on Clubhouse almost, I think, 100%. You know, I would think. I mean, as far as finding the people to be in it and things like that. So it's amazing to see, you know, Clubhouse is that recurring theme and this bringing this community together to do what, like Leo said, to do what we love. And I wish I was in LA and not in Vegas, because I would have loved to have been part of your project. But you know, I'm glad it happened. Most importantly, that's the most important thing. So congratulations, because, you know, and I have so many questions, of course, from the technical side, like, you know, what did you use to shoot? You know, did you have an assistant? How did all, you know, because I love the logistics of it all, whether it's how to, you know, a coffee roasting factory, and then how does a product come out? But filmmaking, same thing, you know, what are the logistics? How did you make it happen? So I wish we had more time, but
yeah,
you know,
go ahead.
Or if you could maybe kind of gloss over it real quick, because I think that's so interesting that you were able to make it happen in 4 days. And, you know, of course, the budget. I mean, obviously, you know, people, like I said, flew out so from their own goodwill and to be a part of this great project. But was there money spent on equipment or, you know, certain, I mean, food? I think, you know, just like an army, actors want to be fed, and if they're fed well, they can work for nothing or, you know, very little. So I don't know if that.
No, so yeah, for sure. Look, I would say this: if there's a, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Point blank, period. No matter what, if you really believe in it, you can only come up with so many excuses, right? And so that's kind of like the mentality I had. So in the beginning, I had an assistant, I had a DP, I had so many people that were willing to, you know, help out. But as the day went closer and got closer, you know, unfortunately, you know, problems happen. You know, not everybody can go and do what they need to do or try to participate. So one thing that I learned in my career is, as a director and an actor, problem solving is your number one friend. You have to know how to problem solve. Yeah. And so what happened was that as I'm preparing and I had a good team, a great team, I also mentally prepared what happens if it doesn't fall through, and I have to pick up the slack myself. And so again, through Clubhouse and through the grace of God, I had, you know, Nick from Clubhouse that actually, he donates his equipment free of charge for people like myself that want to create projects. And he has a lot of great equipment. I'm talking about C-stands, you know, clamps, boom mic, the audio, you know, monitors, anything that you can think of. I'm talking about even the little clamps that you're gonna need for just, you know, to put on your shirt and clamp the mics. He had a lot of great equipment. And before I got there, I had Loki, D Wolf from Clubhouse too, that went and picked up all the equipment and brought it to the Airbnb so it could already be there. So as soon as I land, we get to work. So it was a collaborative effort. It was a team effort. And honestly, I couldn't have done it without any of them that were there. I'm telling you, like, we had Jerry from Clubhouse that just joined, he had one role, but he was still there almost every set. He was bringing his vegan food that he created as well to help feed. It was amazing. I'm telling you, we had Merrily, the agent. She brought a lot of chicken. It was crazy. Like, everybody really believed in the project as much as I believed it, to the point where, you know, it wasn't that we had to pay for all of this. People were off willingly, out of their kindness, were donating food, were donating their time. We had Matt that was cooking every single day, even though he had to go to Netflix and work at Netflix. He would come home at like 6, 7 p.m. and start prepping, meal prepping, and making sure everybody had food. We're talking about vegans and then regular, making sure everybody was well fed, and he did amazing with the food. And then I brought my equipment. I brought my Canon 80D with my 4 cinema lens. I brought my boom mic with the C-stand. I just connected the boom mic with the clamp on there. Everywhere where I was at, I would put the boom mic there with my headphones while I shot too. So I was DP, director, and I was doing the boom. Loki would, you know, come in. I had Aaron with an E as well at one time, put on the headphones and help me out with that. So it was all a collaborative team effort. When the actors wasn't acting, they would help me out behind scenes as well. We would all move stuff around. All right, I need to use the living room. Everybody will start carrying everything from the living room, put it in the bathroom. I need to use the kitchen. Everybody will start setting up the kitchen. Again, I wouldn't be able to do this if it was by myself, but I had a lot of wonderful people helping me on set. A lot of wonderful people that were donating the equipment as well, and bringing it in with them, actors letting us use their vehicle. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. And that really honestly encouraged me that if you really want to do something, there's no excuse but to get it done with like-minded individuals,
Yes, I love your spirit so much. Paul, did that answer your question?
No, I have many more, but I think for now, it
Go
did.
ahead.
Maybe quickly touch on the script. Then, was there a script? Was it improvised? Was there an?
So I the day that we came up with that room on Clubhouse, we decided to go ahead and jump on that right away. So I had 3 editors, main editors. Then we had 3 other assistant editors, writers. AJ's one of them. And so I came up with the treatment that same night. I came up with the treatment. I gave it to the writers, and the writers just, I'm telling you, dude, they just flushed it. It was unbelievable. Like, to the point where I'm thinking, like, why aren't these people hired by Hollywood yet? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because they're so freaking talented. Paul, within 2 days, I already had a first final draft. The second 2, like, we had 2 weeks before I went to shoot. Within 2 days that I gave them the treatment, they already had a rough draft. Then we had a meeting the 3rd day. The 4th day, they had a second draft. The fourth day, it was almost done. The 5th day, I started casting because we already had it all done. And the 6th, 7th day, I was just finalizing casting, and everybody was just confirming, and we were just doing rooms in Clubhouse to raise funds. And we did raise around $2,300. That was all towards the Airbnb.
Sure.
And that's it, but
wow.
though, exactly. So it was a budget of $2,300. We did a feature film because everybody collaboratively legit put their time and effort. And so that just goes to show me that, listen, when God sets a way for us to do what we need to do or we intended to do, there's nothing that's going to stop us.
Well, that is so inspirational and motivational, not just to me, but, I'm sure AJ, and then to anyone that's watching and listening. And it just goes to show you that, man, if there, like you said, if there's a will, there's a way. And it's almost like within your tribe, you can, collaborate with, and I think this is the year where it's started. I've seen it. I myself am participating in collaboration over competition, where I've 100%. Realized I can't do everything on my own. And it is about strategic partnerships and collaborations. And you know what? I'm loving it, where all the decisions don't fall to me. I'm like, talk to the person that's in charge of that. Let me put it together. Let me do what I'm good at. And then so thank you for sharing that. And I think, and again, even if you didn't have, because people might say, well, I don't have that Canon camera, whatever. You could have, I bet, Leo, that you could have probably easily done it on this iPhone that you're using or that I'm using. You could have just as easily, and it would probably be almost, probably to the normal person, they wouldn't even be able to discern the difference. So kudos. And who shoots a feature film on $2,300? That's
Our Leo does. Our Leo does.
Yeah.
Leo Severino. And I claim that as our tribe, one of our tribe leaders. Leo, I love your spirit and I love your energy, and it's infectious. And I want to thank you so much for letting me be a part in this journey with you. And I did have a question. Was this your first time in Los Angeles, Hollywood?
No, this is, it's my third time, but the first time I went out there just to, as an actor, try to, feel and see how Hollywood really was. And I fell into the trap of working in my uncle's demolition business from like 6 o'clock in the morning all the way to 8 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. So I couldn't even do that. So then the second time I went was me and my wife. We went again when now I started directing, and my wife wanted to become bi-coastal. She wanted to meet some talent she was going to sign. And we wanted to network a lot as well with some managers and agents that we know from LA. And then this was my third time. Yeah, this was my third time.
Is it true? Is it true that the way you got representation is that you're sleeping with your manager?
Pretty much.
Okay,
Yep,
good.
I married her. Listen, that's another reason. Where there's a will, there's a way. I had to marry her, man. I can't let good. Listen, she's one of the best managers so far that I know of in the industry. So why
Sure.
not put a ring on it? You get what I'm saying? Nah, yeah, I'll dive a little bit more into that. So she is my cousin's best friend. And so we know each other since we were 16. I had moved from Rhode Island to New Jersey, which where she lives. And she started helping me writing my emails towards casting directors and started getting me booked. And that inspired her to get started with the Arcos management. And I was here to help her out. And so we have this team effort where, you know, she has her talents, but if the talents, because she's a development manager, if her talent doesn't have demo reel or anything, I'll create short films, put them in there and start giving them those clips so they can have a good demo reel and really be prepared for the industry. Yeah, so that's how it is. But yes, I do sleep with her and it's amazing.
Wonderful. That's I can hear it. I can hear it in the background. That yeah.
Right?
No. Did you say you came from Rhode Island? Wait, are there Latinos in Rhode Island?
Actually, there is. But it's like a little one street tribe, Broad Street. Ask about Broad Street in Rhode Island. That's all the Latinos, Dominican, Puerto Ricans. Then you have the Federal Hill, where it's all Italians. You know, so it's a small state, but so many Dominicans, Latinos in that little state with Italian all working together. So
are you Dominican or wait? And what's Severino? Are you?
I'm Dominican.
Or?
I have an Italian last name.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Molto bene, molto bene.
No.
I love that. And I did want to give a shout out to Kat Severino at Arcos Management because she is amazing. And we want to say hello to her. And anything else you wanted to say, Leo, for Kat?
No, she's just she's amazing. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her. I honestly think that every strong man needs a strong woman, and every strong woman needs a strong man, especially in this industry. And it's kind of like we're leading by example again, as far as like, you know, and Paul said it earlier, how I always say in rooms, it's time to change that C word from competition to collaboration, because, you know, the lack of Latinx and diverse in filmmaking, we can't wait until people come and knock on our door and say, hey, here's an opportunity. We have to make that opportunity for ourselves, to the point where it's like, if you really vision it, it's creating our own table where then Hollywood would have to look around and look back to the table that's making all the noise and say, hey, I want to be part of that. So, you know, that's what we're doing. So shout out to Arcos Management, shout out to my manager, one of the best, and shout out to my wife, all three in one, for allowing me to be where I am today, for sure.
I love that. And how many was on the crew with your feature film? Can we say the name, Leo, or do you want to keep that secret?
Yeah. American Sangre. Yep.
Okay, American Sangre. And I love the Dominican influence. In fact, that was one of my suggestions when to have more of the Dominican influence in the, I hope that's okay for me to say. Yeah. That was my idea, to bring that more for the authenticity, to represent, you know, how because it's so important, you know, where we come from, our culture. I'm 18% Italian, and I get it, you know, and so I love that. And Paul, did you have a few other questions you want to ask? Go ahead, love.
Oh, thank you, AJ. No. I think it's more complimentary and whatnot of what you're able to accomplish, because that's no small feat. Where do you see this film going? I mean, has anyone expressed interest as far as like distribution, or is this too early to think about something like that?
It's well, you're kind of like, you hit it on the nail on both. It's too early, but again, it's God guided me through this career. I am a distributor for Amazon Prime. So once I make everything happen, and if it's the feature length, yes, this will be on Amazon Prime. If no other, you know, streaming platform tries to bite on it.
Wonderful. Sure. Well, I'm sure, you know, AJ is on board as well, which if whatever you need as far as helping or promoting, or once it's done and you want to come back on so we can talk about it, you know, and the success that it's having, you know, we'd be more than happy to have you come back on and discuss, because I think it's a great journey. And we're, even though I wasn't maybe directly involved in it, I know I popped into a few of those rooms. I feel like I am involved in it because, you know, you're one of the leaders in, especially in the diversity in Hollywood, you know, hosting the rooms, you know, the Latinx rooms and things like that. So thank you, you know, thank you for that. But I think it behooves all of us. and benefits all of us. That you're there leading the good fight.
If I may I? I'm sorry, I don't mean to. A lot of people, what they want to do is they want to get big and famous, right? That's a plus. That's a bonus. Why not? Who wouldn't want that, right? But for me, I feel like I was called to leave a legacy behind. I was called to open the doors, to open the path for the future of filmmaking. Like I have my daughter. I would love for her to grow up and say, hey, I want to be in that, in the big theaters, because when I was young and I watched The Matrix, the first Matrix with Keanu Reeves and Fishman, I said when I was young, I was like, I want to do that. I want to dodge bullets. Don't try this at home, anybody. But I want to do that. I want to be like, how do you get this in a big screen? I was like 10 years old thinking these things. And as I'm growing up and watching, because that's when I fell in love with theaters, I kept going to theaters. You can ask my wife. I go to theaters almost every week just to watch and study films that are there. And my mother would tell you this all the time too. It was a habit. I love theaters. I love the sound. I love the experience, everything. But what I came to the conclusion is that I never saw someone that I can relate and say, oh my God, that's me. That can be me. Oh my God, Superman, that can be me. And I love Superman, but I never heard of a Latino Superman in my entire life, not even a comic book, And so it's kind of like, that's crazy because Superman is not Caucasian. He's from another planet. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. It's kind of like, okay, why does he have to have the nice curly hair, the blue eyes and all this stuff? When he's from another planet, he can legit be anything that we really put our mind into. And Absolutely. So from that, my inspiration, my shift, my motive start changing. And it's more of like, yeah, I want to get there, but now there's a necessity. There's a need that I have to try to at least pick at, you know what I'm saying? And try to leave a legacy behind where, honestly, after everything you guys are saying, I take it as a compliment, but it's more of, I just want to be an example. If I can get a feature done in $2,300, you guys can too. I mean, who am I? You get what I'm saying? I'm human just like you guys. I'm human. I was born the same way. I started learning how to walk the same way. I'm breathing the same air. We share the same earth. You get what I mean? If I can do it, the reason why I'm doing it is because I really want to inspire someone out there to do the same thing. Because if I can do it, y'all can definitely do it 100%.
I love that. And I love that so much. And Leo, can I say thank you for your encouragement and your support? You're always there rooting for people. And what I love about you, Leo, is that you look at it for alignment together and not competition. And I love that because that's the new Hollywood. That's the new way of thinking. That's what I love. That's what Paul loves. So thank you, Leo.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. Again, it's an honor. I receive it, but it's an honor because really, I always say, man, you can create a drawing with one color, but it's not going to be as fun as seeing you draw with all the colors in the coloring book. You get what I mean? So for me, I'm Latino, and the way we cook, we throw a lot of spice in there, different type of spice. That's exactly how I see this industry. Throw all the type of spice in this industry and watch how we make a beautiful movie. You don't understand. Yeah. And I really believe it. There's something that I might not be thinking of because I'm Latino that you might be thinking of, you know what I mean? Or somebody else might be thinking of, or something that could be offensive. Or just right now we watch Turning Red on Disney Plus, and it was a Filipino, I believe. It was a Filipino Disney movie, or I think it was a Filipino. And I never knew about their culture as much as I learned watching that with my daughter. Of they praise their ancestors and how they believe in that. And it was an amazing movie because I'm discovering the wonderful story that they have to share with the world. And I think that everybody needs to share their story. You know what I mean? I can't talk about other, I can't do that because I'm not in their shoes, but I would love to make a movie if they trust me to do it. You get what I'm saying? Working along with them. It would be amazing. So it's an honor. I pray that we all start thinking the same way and we start taking over Hollywood like we're supposed to do, and start showing the world that there's so many different talents out there. Like there's so many pie out there that we can all take pieces from. It's just, we just don't want to reach to those other pie. We just want to be selfish with one pie.
Absolutely. It's a new way of thinking. And I always say this, but there's plenty enough gigs for everyone. And if not, let's create them ourselves. That's my philosophy. And right, Leo?
100%. I mean, we have Roku, Disney, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, what is it? Hulu, it's another one. Voodoo, it's another one. Even Latino there's so many platforms out there. It's not back when we was in the 1990s where it was a television show, Cartoon Network, and that's it. Now it's so many different streaming platforms out there that you could definitely jump on one thing or something. And even YouTube, which is free.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like there's so many platforms, some streaming service. There's enough room for everybody. We just need to work together. That's what it is. And that's what's blocking a lot of opportunities.
I love that. And you are turning it around. And I love that. Don't you, Paul?
Well, I was a huge fan of Leo until he mentioned that he was 10 when he watched The Matrix. And then now I'm not that big of a fan anymore. I didn't realize how young you are, my friend.
Listen. And that was pretty late too, because my parents didn't believe in theaters.
Wow. Yeah.
Speaking of theaters, we have this really cool movie poster on the screen with us. It's called Fade. It's directed by you, Leo. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I want to do a little promo so people can get to know you on this movie.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. This movie was a short film streaming on YouTube right now. Is actually a lot of people watched it. It actually helped me make it to the Times Square billboard. The news on the East Coast too about this film. It's again a bunch of diverse talents. A bunch of barbers that are super diverse: Puerto Rican, Dominican, Italian. You can name it. Black. We have everything in there. And it's a short film. It was 35 pages, and we shot it in 2 days.
Wow.
2 days. That's and so within 2 days, I have a really great DP partner. We have GCM Production, which are brothers or sisters, mine and my wife's. They have their own production company, and they have a great DP director, their husband and wives as well. And they helped me DP this project. I'm telling you, it is an amazing film. It has a crazy twist. I can't say too much because I would love for y'all to go watch it. But that twist is what a lot of people love in the film. And that's the type of movie I like promoting and producing. It's something that's going to blow you off of your seat. Nowadays, no disrespect to nobody, I feel like a lot of films is not even doing that. They're just doing it for the money versus doing it for the art itself. And I want to make sure that I keep it the same way.
We do too. I love that answer. I love what you said and what you shared, Leo. And over to you, Paul.
Where can we see Fade? Is it available on video on demand, or where can we see it? Or?
Yeah, so right now I just post this up free of charge on YouTube. So you can search Witness Entertainment LLC, and you can put Fade, and you can see other films that I have there too, and trailers. But also it's going to be on my official website, witnessentertainment.net. And I'm also going to be doing, which I spoke to my wife, I'm also going to be doing a consultation with directors as well on that website, so I can try to help somebody out there, move forward with their directorial debut as far as like trying to get their project up and started, for sure.
We need to get you on the Owl app where you can talk to people, but or lead them to your website. So we'll talk about that after. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to be there.
That would be great. I also have a few questions. I wanted to ask you, who are your favorite actors and directors? Who inspires you, Leo?
One of my favorite actors is Will Smith. Love Will Smith, just because he's one of the actors that I know that you can give him whatever genre, he can kill it. He can kill it. I'm talking about comedy. We already know he does that. Serious drama. We have 7 Pounds, and then we have action. Bad Boys, Men in Black. He can just play whatever you give him. He can play. Right now, he just did amazing with Severino Williams and
the King. What was it, King?
The King. Yes. He did amazing. He did amazing in that film. Amazing. It had nothing to do with comedy or anything. It was a real life event, and he obviously did an amazing job. So I love actors like that. Leonardo DiCaprio is another one. I'm loving Andrew Garfield, another person that I feel like can really do an amazing job. I love Matt Damon. Not David is also a great inspiration for myself. Samuel L. Jackson as well, and Robert Downey Jr. as well. That's another one because I love Iron Man. I love the way that he actually formed. Like Iron Man is not even Iron Man. It's now Robert Downey Jr. Like that's it.
Yes.
Director Ryan Coogler, one of my favorite. He's amazing. Director of Black Panther and this whole situation that happened with him on the bank. I was so mad and frustrated. I love. Oh man, I have so many. It's just like going through my mind right now. Ryan Coogler, Michael Bay. I love him for the Transformer. Another inspiration of mine, the Transformer movies. Steven Spielberg. Oh my God, I got a whole list. If I keep going, I'm just gonna probably talk.
Okay. I have a quick question for you, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Paul to ask a question. My question is, how was it like filming on Baywatch? Can you take us there a little bit into the fun of it?
Yeah, so Baywatch was in Florida, and my wife got me that gig, and we were here in Jersey, and I had to fly out there in 2 days. So we got the tickets. I went to Florida. And as soon as I landed, we got a hotel as well, and I stayed at that hotel. The next morning, I already had my outfit because I had to send in pictures. They approved it, and I was a fisherman. I was supposed to be a fisherman. I went to set. They got two pickup trucks to pick us up to bring us to set. We were like around 10 minutes from the actual seashore, and I was in the intro of Baywatch. So so there's this guy that's like power sailing and with the waves and using the thing and doing all these tricks, and something happens where he bangs his head and then he ends up falling in the water and starts drowning, and the Rock is running from the there's like this rocky path, and he's running in there and he has to jump in to save the guy. Me as a fisherman, I'm fishing and he runs back behind me, and my reaction is to be scared because it's like, oh my God, is this a truck running behind me? So I had to like, the heck was that? And he was gone already, right? When we did a take, I went to go and get like food from catering, whatever, just little fruits. And I met his double, which was his cousin. And then I met him, and the conversation that we had was that his double has to be eating the same amount of food that the Rock eats, has to do the same amount of training that the Rock does. Like legit, they have to be like this because the Rock's body figure is too crazy in order for someone to keep up and have that same body like him. But his cousin, ever since they were teenagers, they did everything together. And so his cousin also had to look like the Rock and everything. At first, I looked at his cousin, I thought it was the Rock. Oh, snap. And then we had a conversation. Really humble, really down to earth. And I didn't get to meet Zach, unfortunately, or any other ones, just the Rock, because that was the scene that he had to jump in. But it was amazing.
Cool.
It was amazing.
How cool. And it sounds like so much fun, Leo, and a great memory. And thank you so much for sharing that, because I want the audience and your supporters and your fans to get to know a little bit more about what you have done. And so that's a fun set to work on, Baywatch. And over to you, Paul.
How long ago was that, Leo? When was Baywatch?
Wow. I was like 4 years ago.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Ago,
yeah.
Before COVID, right? Before
2 years before COVID. So yeah, roughly 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. Any other projects that you've worked on that you either had an interesting experience or fun?
The next one that I could talk about is when I met Jamie Foxx. I have a video with him on set on my Facebook. He's just making fun of everybody, and he's another humble dude so far that I know of. And
isn't he great?
Yeah, oh my God, he's amazing, funny, really down to earth, really humble. And fun fact is that he, after every single movie, he likes creating a soundtrack for it. And so, and this one is called Sleepless. It's actually on Netflix right now. They're having a fight in the kitchen, and I was one of the busboys in there, and I'm the one that's supposed to be scared because he's like dragging this bad guy on top of the table, and they're having this full blast fight. And when we were done, I was walking by. It was a 3-day set, so I had to be 3-day shoot with him. And the first day we were all on hold-in. That was a feature. And when I was walking back, he stops me. He's like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Yeah." Honestly, I thought I got in trouble for something. I don't know what's going on. And he was like,
"You're
"Listen,
fired."
Yeah, imagine. And he was like, "Listen, you're Spanish, right? You're Latino. I was like, yeah. He was like, can you help me write some lyrics and translate? Because I'm writing the soundtrack for this film. And I was like, what? That's crazy. Is this the first time? And that's when he told me, no, I do it usually for every movie that I do it as like a thank you for, producers and stuff. And I was like, yeah, for sure. He grabbed a seat. And for the 3 days, I was sitting with all the directors, casts, doubles, everything. I was just there with him for those 3 days. Amazing. He offered to take me out and everything. It was awesome. It was a great experience. Yeah.
Amazing. Good. Thank you. That's always good to hear, because they don't have to be nice to anyone or do anything nice. So when you hear that from A-listers, really, it's amazing. So thank you for sharing that.
It made the whole set so fun for me. Like, look, there was a time that when I started sitting there, I went to the holding, and for all actors will know what I'm talking about. I went to holding and everybody was sleeping. They felt like they were bored. And I looked at that, and then I looked at my share and I was like, wow, I'm blessed. Because right now I'm having a time that I will never forget versus all the other ones that are just sitting there reading books, being bored, But that can happen with anybody, is what I'm trying to say. It can happen with anybody. It's just, you have to keep going, because I had those days myself, I would be lying if I'm like, oh, I'm the golden duck. Every time I go to set, something happens. No, that's not how it is. It's just, they can read your energy too. They can read energy. One thing that I love to do is, and this is what I think about, and I hope that this reaches out to someone out there, is, these A-list celebrities, these directors, everybody that's famous, big, they were once where we were at. So they're human just like me. So I just mind my own business. When I was doing the busboy, I was just practicing how I'm going to be cleaning the dishes and all that stuff. And when he came out, everybody was like, screaming. They were like, oh my God, why? He's out here with us. And I looked back and I saw him and I was like, you know what? That's awesome. I'm going to keep practicing what I need to do and keep doing my own thing. And he walked over to me, and that's the video I have on Facebook. And I was the only one that can use his cell phone, because he was that comfortable with me that he noticed that I didn't show him the attention anybody else did, because he's human too. And sometimes when he's on set, celebrities don't want to be crowded with fans. They just want to be there and feel like they're human too, working with other humans, And he told me that as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. And realistically, I think you're going to find that they're there. I mean, they're there to work, not to entertain. They're paid. I mean, they're getting paid by a producer, or even if they're producing, it's their money on the line. I mean, they're there to work. They're not there to entertain us or need to chat with us, or, you don't need to chat with them, type of a thing. So it's refreshing when that does happen, but it happened organically. It wasn't, so kudos. That's great.
Yeah. And that's awesome. The reason, that's the reason why I feel like, the energy is there, and I had all these blessing moments, and I still have more moments to come, and I pray that when my time is there, that I can do the same for others. You know what I mean? Like, just motivate them and see if I can help them get encouraged to not give up, for sure.
Well, you definitely motivate me, Leo. I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And, you were also in the movie La Soga Salvation.
Yes.
And you also played a comedic role in another film. So are you interested in doing more of those films, or more like La Soga Salvation?
Listen, Will Smith is one of my favorite actors because he can do it all. I honestly think that as a job for us actors, it's not to just be stuck in one category, but to do a great performance. I say it all the time in Clubhouse rooms. I say, listen, acting is not a 9-to-5 job. It's a lifestyle. And so if somebody wants to cast me in a serious role, I'm blessed. If somebody wants to cast me in a comedy, I'll get it done. If somebody wants to cast me in a horror film, oh, you best believe I'll be scared. You get what I'm saying? So my job is for me to deliver. And I feel like all of our job is to deliver. So acting and directing are my passion. I'll do it all.
I love that answer, because that means that your favorite genre is all of them. It's variety. So I love that. And Paul, over to you. Did you want to? I'm sorry, go ahead, Leo.
No, I was just going to say my favorite genre is all, because my favorite genre is storytelling. A great story. That's it. Like I said earlier, a lot of people that are making films right now, they're just making it for the money and the hype. Don't include me in that group. Include me somewhere where, one of the movies that would stand out to me would be what is it? Quiet or silent? Quiet Place. A Quiet Place. Where they can't make a sound, or these monsters will come and just take you based on the sound you make. So the lead actress, she was pregnant. And so I was on the edge of my seat the whole time until the end. The movie was over, and I finally did. That's the type of movie. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of storytelling that I want to do. Another one is The Last Avengers, Endgame. It was a 3-hour movie, but it felt like it was an hour and a half because I was so entertained that the time went so fast. And it was so good that I couldn't pick anything that was bad at all. And that was the first movie my mom went to me to the theater for 3 hours, and she wanted to go again. That's when it's a good movie.
I judge movies like that on how much my butt hurts. So if it's a 3-hour movie and I leave and my butt doesn't hurt, I'm like, that was a great movie.
Must have been a great
movie. If you
movie.
go to an hour and a half movie, you're like, God damn, sorry, my ass hurts. You're like, that was a bad movie, because you just want to get up out of that. Sorry, I don't know why, but my butt can tell a good movie from a bad movie, apparently.
Your butt is trying to save you some time. That's what it is.
I would call that the butt-o-meter.
The butt-o-meter gives it two cheeks way up. No, I don't know. That's vulgar. Sorry. But yeah. Well, it's so funny because my ex-wife, I was must have been I was in the bed watching The Walking Dead, I guess. And I the storytelling, I mean, it was always kind of the same thing, but it was always so good and interesting. You didn't know who was going to get killed, things like that.
Yeah.
And one day she walks in and she goes, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, I didn't say anything. She goes, "You're sitting here going, no. And I, honest to God, I was like, "You're insane." I go, "I didn't say it." She goes, "You're saying no." And then I listened. I was like, I do, because I was like, no, don't walk in there. Don't, no. And she was like, "You're saying no." I'm like, okay, you're right, I am. But you're right. You get so just enthralled when it's good storytelling.
And that's what we need. That's exactly what we need.
Yes. And so I wanted to thank you so much for that. That's so funny. And that is so great, the butt-o-meter. I just wanted to squeeze that in.
There we go.
That's good. You're good.
There we go.
AJ. Maybe you should do the comedy.
Good laugh. I love it too. And I know you guys like to laugh too. And I'll what else did I want to mention? Very important. Oh, I wanted to ask you, Leo, who would you like to work with? I mean, we have Paul here, but who would you like to work with? Take it away.
Well, not anymore, I don't think, and also, folks, make sure you stay tuned to part 2. Part 2.
You were thinking about that all day right now.
I was. Yeah.
It's all right. I love it. Part 2.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you.
Who would I like to? My thing is, I never thought about who I would like to work with per se, but I think it's more of like, it'll be a blessing when the time comes, because I am going to, and that's going to be, heavy hitters like I said, one of my favorite, Will Smith, Jackie Chan. Ooh, that would be awesome. I don't care how old he gets. He's one of my heroes. I have to work with him. He's actually someone that inspired me with the bloopers in all of my movies. I always like putting bloopers at the end credit because it keeps me there watching the end credit, and it keeps me entertained too. I would love to work with, Viola Davis. She's from Rhode Island too. So, that'll be amazing. I had already worked with Jennifer Lawrence, Bradley Cooper, Rob De Niro. Who else? Martin Lawrence. I would love to work with him too. There's Andrew Garfield. So many people. When the time comes, I will be though. For sure.
That's wonderful. We love all of that. And we have a few minutes left. We have to start wrapping it up soon. It's gone by so fast, and I've enjoyed it so much. But Paul, I'm going to go over to both of you for final thoughts. Paul, over to you. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Yeah, well, family was brought up. I feel like, because we're all a Clubhouse family, and I love that you and your significant other is also your manager, and as a family, we're kind of all in this together. You're leading the charge on, you know, Latinos in Hollywood and diversity really in Hollywood, not just Latinos in Hollywood, but the new Hollywood. And, you know, AJ, same as you. And so, yeah, I think it's all about family. And for me, I kind of want to tie it up with that's like everybody else. I also have an NFT project, and we actually call it Mi Famiglia, kind of spelled the Italian way, but it's an all-inclusive, men, women from all countries, you know, from all walks of life. And so yeah, that's something that I think was brought up, and I'm trying to tie it up nicely that way. So it's all about family and us and collaboration over competition. So thank you, Leo, for being at the forefront of that.
It's a pleasure, bro. Seriously. Is the final thoughts for me too?
Yes. Leo.
No, definitely. Thank you so much for that. And again, you know, the more that we keep, you know, practicing it, the easier it's going to get. But right now it's the beginning. It's going to be the hard work that we have to put in. But at the end of the day, when the time is due, we're going to sit back and remember these days here when we're like, you know, in our premiere in the red carpet, and I hug you and AJ. I'm like, guys, you know, I can't believe we just made a $3 million budget movie. Let's enjoy this. I can't.
In one day.
Remember, that's going to be happening real soon. I'm telling you. And I'm going to say, you know, remember the interview we did for Film Talk, you know, this is it. We're going to have to go to your studio, AJ, the big studio now where you do it. And we're going to talk about this $3 million budget, you know, and who knows, the title for that $3 million budget might just be Clubhouse. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, no, it's all about being consistent. I did a video on my Instagram. It was one of my latest posts that I talk about, and I was dropping my daughter off in school, and I had to wait an hour because we got there early. And I was thinking, wow, if nobody really believed in me, where would I have been, right? If it wasn't for me to believe in myself. So it starts off with everybody believing in yourself, man. You know, my family, my mom, my family really did not believe that I can become the director, actor that I am today. And now that I had an interview on my Instagram with, you know, Luis Guzman, and I'm doing projects with all these big heavy hitters and doing a feature film that came out in theaters and all that good stuff, which is one of the big #1 movie in Dominican Republic. I helped create the second part of it. Now they're starting to believe, and I'm not mad at them for it. I know that my mother came to this land of opportunity, not knowing the struggle that she was going to go through. And that just projected from her onto me, letting me know, because she was trying to protect me. Hey, I think it's not something that they're going to allow you to do. But I had to make sure that I believed in it, and I had to go and do it. And now that I did it, she's the #1 person calling me almost every day. Hey, I have an idea for a film. The person that did not believe now believes. And that's because I decided to go and do what I had to do. And I'll end with this. My brother said something really powerful to me that actually makes me keep going even stronger. You know, one day I asked him, we were sitting down, and I asked him, hey, bro, why do you believe in me so much? And he looked at me, everything went, I swear to God, it sounds like a movie, but I swear on everything I love, everything around me went silent, and he looked at me and he said, because you're crazy enough to believe you can do it. So I'm believe. And so everybody that invented something that changed the world, they were looked up on as a crazy person until they changed the world. And so I will keep being the crazy me that I am until I change the world, for sure.
Well, we believe in you so much. We believe in you and Kat and Arcos Management and Witness Entertainment. And thank you so much, Leo, for that inspiration, because it's going to help a lot of people to have hope. And that's what we need right now. A lot of people need hope to whoever's been rejected or disappointed or feels alone will listen to this interview, and it will lift their spirits and give them hope. And so thank you so much. And as Paul and I always say, until next time, and we're your biggest fan, right, Paul?
I can't find my fan, but we're your biggest fan.
You can use your hand.
It's here somewhere. And I have
three
of them.
I do want to say one more thing. What's next, Leo? Before we go, what's next for you?
I am working on a mini series that I'm going to be doing and producing on Instagram, free of charge, obviously, for people to watch and see art and see a little bit of our culture. But the bigger project, it's another feature film that I wrote. That one I'm gonna raise. I'm trying to raise 100,000. I'm gonna do 25% here in the United States, but 75% is gonna be shot in DR, and I'm taking my whole team and crew, and it's gonna be a collaboration of Bad Boys, the Latino version, with like Rambo type of gruesome and stuff like that. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Wow.
Funny, action, romantic.
I need to be in that one.
I got you. 100%. I'm reaching out to you for sure. That's 100. Hey, I'm leading. I have to lead as an example, bro. I'm gonna let my actions speak.
And AJ, I have to bring my co-host. That's the only way I work.
Oh,
Just consider. Just when you hear either me in one of the club rooms telling you guys to join a private room, an email or a direct message, just know that it's just for you to pack your bags as we out to Dominican Republic.
Let's do it.
yes, Captain. Sounds like
You got it,
plan.
boss.
Captain.
You are the best, Captain. Thank you so much, Leo, and thank you, Paul. And until we meet again, until next time, au revoir and take care.
Thank you.